Good day everyone, my name is Jessica C. Ortiz from grade 11 HE and I'm here to discuss about story Chenchnya by Anthony Marra. First of all, who is Anthony Marra? About Anthony Marra, grew up in Washington, D.C., lived and studied in Russia. American fiction writer, made the story Chenchnya which won many awards. After his sister Natasha died, Sonja began sleeping in the hospital. She returned home to wash her clothes a few days a month, but those days became fewer and fewer. No reason to return, no need to wash her clothes. She only wears hospital scrubs anyway. She wakes on a cot in the trauma unit. She sleeps there intentionally in anticipation of the next critical patient. Some days, roused by the shuffle of footsteps, the cries of the family members, she is stunned and a body takes her place on the cot and she works on resuscitation knowing she is awake because she could dream nothing like this. A man is waiting here to see you, a nurse says. Sonja is still on the cot, rubs the weariness from her eyes. About what? The nurse hesitates. It's right out there. A minute later, in the hallway, the man introduced himself. My name is Ahmed. He speaks Russian without an accent. But by now, Sonja feels more comfortable conversing in Chechen. A short beard descends from Ahmed's face. For a moment, she thinks he's a religious man, then remember that most men have grown their beards out. Few have shaving cream, few have mirrors. The war has made the country's cheeks and chins devout. He gestures to a small girl no older than 8, standing beside him. My wife, I cannot care for her, Ahmed says. You must take her. This isn't an orphan. There are no orphanage. The request is not uncommon. The hospital receives humanitarian aid, has food and clean water. Most important, it tends to the injured regardless of ethnicity of military affiliation, making the hospital one of the few larger buildings left untargeted by either side in the war. Newly injured arrive each day, too many to care for. Sonja shakes her head. Too many dying. She cannot be expected to care for the living as well. Her father was taken by the rebels on Saturday. On Sunday, the army came and took her mother. Sonja looks at the wall calendar, as if a date could make sense of the times. Today is Monday, she says. Ahmed glowers. Sonja often sees defiance from rebels and occasionally from soldiers, rarely from civilians. I can't, she says, but her voice falters, her justification failing. I was a medical student before the war, Ahmed says, switching to Chechen. In my final year, I will work here until a home found for a girl. Sonja surveyed the corridor, a handful of patients. No doctors, thus with money, with advanced degrees, and the foresight to flee the country, have done so. Parents decide which of their children they can afford to feed on which days. No one will take this girl, Sonja says. Then I will keep working. Does she speak? Sonja looked to the girl. What's your name? Hava, Ahmed answered. 6 months earlier, Sonja's sister Natasha was repatriated from Italy. When Sonja heard the knock and opened the door, she couldn't believe how healthy her sister looked. She hugged her sister, joked about the padding on her hips. Whatever horrors Natasha had experienced in the West, she put pat around her waist. Home, Natasha said, holding the hug longer than Sonja thought necessary. They ate dinner before the sun went down. Potatoes boiled over the furnace. The army had cut the electric lines 4 years earlier. They had never been repaired. Sonja showed her sister to the spare room. By candlelight, gesture to the bed. This is the place you sleep, Natasha. Ahmed is true to his word. 5 minutes after Sonja accepts the girl, he is washed and suited and scrubbed. Sonja takes him on a tour of the hospital. All but two wings are closed for lack of staff. She shows him the cardiology, internal medicine, and endocrinology wards. A layer dust covered the floors. Their footprints leaving a trail. Sonja thinks of the moon landing, how she saw the footage for the first time when she arrived in London. What is everything? Ahmed asked. Bed sheets, hypodermics, disposable gowns, surgical tape, film dressing, thermometers, IV bags, forceps. Any item of practical medical use has gone. Empty cabinets, open drawers, locked rooms, closed blinds, tape over window panes, the stale air remain. The trauma and maternity wards, and we're struggling to keep them both open. Ahmed ran his finger through his beard. Trauma, that's obvious. You have to keep trauma open, but maternity? Sonja laughed rings down the empty hall. I know it's funny, isn't it? Everyone is either fucking or dying. No. Ahmed shakes his head and Sonja wonders if he's offended by her profanity. They are coming into the world and they are leaving the world, and it's happening here. Sonja nods, wonder if Ahmed is religious after all.